So it's been a while since I've made a video, and I wanted to show you what I made with this Potomac bead box that I got. It's called Lavender Latte, and it's their treasure box. So it comes with lots of different beads, sometimes findings. I think it's definitely geared towards bead weaving versus just stringing beads. And so these are the things that came in it, and I did a really good job with using a lot of it. In fact, this is what I have left of it. And this is all that came in the box. So I'm going to show you a few different things, not a few, it's actually quite a lot. I think this is probably one of the boxes where I've made the most things. And I really went outside my comfort zone, did a lot of bead weaving, which I'm brand new to, and you'll see how I'm like kind of learning, and it's not perfect yet, and how I kind of progressed and started to get better at it. But I'm glad I did that because I was able to make some really fun and interesting things. So I'll show you those now. So the first thing, and my favorite thing as always to make, is bookmarks. And I did a lot of my regular bookmarks that I just do stringed like this, that you kind of put through the center of a book. But I came up with some new ideas on how to make bookmarks in a different kind of way. So I'll just start with just the ones I always make, and that is like this. And so mostly all beads of all these bookmarks came from the box, but I'll definitely say when it didn't. This one, for instance, if we look at this, these blue ones here were not in the box. This wasn't, that wasn't. This one has like probably the most that weren't. Everything here where I weave this, and I kind of came up with this little weave design on my own after doing it for a while. I kind of designed my own idea there. Same thing with this one. These drops came from it, but then I incorporated some other things. These check glass weren't in there, and then these seed beads, only these pink ones were in there. So this one I like, it really came out different. Lots of different colors in it. I really like purple and the green that I brought in there. So that's the first bookmark that I have. Then I have this one, and everything in here was inside the box, except for this bail that's holding this. It didn't come with the bail. I bought that separately just for this. And then these seed beads were not in it. So that's another one. This one, I'm going to say that all of this, except for the seed beads, were in the box. So they had these really cool laser cut charms, I guess you could say, pendants. I really like that kind of piece, so I could double it up there. That's another. And then let's see, I think everything else is a little bit different. So the first thing that I came up with was, if you take this piece and put it inside your book, and then this hangs out. Give me 1 second and I'll show it. Here we have a book, and you just take a flat piece and you can put it in like this, and then it can kind of hang over here like that. Hold your page. You could kind of put it over to the side, and it hangs down off the edge over there. So I thought that was something different to do. And in terms of everything that's in here, obviously my pins did not come with it. These purpley pink glass beads, crackle beads, did not. These did not, but it was mainly these type and these bicones here that came in the box. And so that's another type of bookmark I made. Similar idea with the flat piece going in. I made this, and I did another bead weaving project here. I will link in the description any videos that kind of helped me put these together. Obviously, a lot of times I used different colors or slightly different beads. But there's some really great videos that help me learn how to do this. And so this is another bookmark. This one is pretty neat. I think I've shown this before, where I use like this stretchy elastic ribbon, and then I put something in between that kind of stays stationary. So all these beads came from the box. What I did here was like kind of like a free form bead weaving, where I just kind of went as I went and came up with this little centerpiece there with that. And I've made these before, similar to the stringed beaded ones. We have a ribbon here. This is not elastic, and then just two pieces that hang off the ends of that. And except for this check bead here, the pin, the check bead that's in there, this all came from the box. Oh, and these spacers. These spacers weren't in there. And then again, here's another bead weaving that I did. And then the last bookmark is this one. So this one, kind of like that flat piece, is just one piece that hangs in there, and then all these hang out. Here's a little bead weaving, and I think this was actually the first bead weaving that I attempted. Everything came from the box there. Everything here is from the box, yeah. Here's another laser cut kind of charm that they did, and then I glued these little white ones, oops, one fell off, to replace that on to it, just to give it a different look with that. So that's another bookmark. Oh, there's the one that fell off, so I have to remember to put that back on. So next up are bracelets, and actually there is one more bracelet that I made that I gave to my daughter, and she's been wearing it, but it was another kind of piece like this, where it was centered, but it was on something like this that was knotted, but she has that on upstairs. So here we go with another bead weaving. These check glass beads were not in the box, and obviously this ribbon and these, I forget what you call these, but to hold it on. But I really like how that came out, and it's stretchy ribbon. And I know these are tiny, I know. This one actually is for one of my other daughters, and we have tiny wrists in this family. Here is a knotted one. This one doesn't have much. It does have this, which I just glued a few on there from before, and then these in-between beads came from the box, but these larger beads did not. And then that's just that. This one, everything came from the box, and what I did is I took those drops, even though this is like a 2-hole bead thing, I just ran them through here, and I like how this came out. I like that I was able to, with these colors, use different metals. Like this one has silver, this one has silver, this one has like copper, and then bronze here. So these colors work with a lot of different metals. Here is a stretchy bracelet. This part is not stretchy, but this is another bead weaving, and you can kind of see, this is where I'm learning. I miscounted here. So this end is shorter than that one. But a lot of this came from the box, except for these larger beads, these crackle glass, and well, I guess I would say this came from the box and this did not. Here is a stretchy bracelet that I put these drops on. Again, tiny, I know. And these purple seeds run out of storage. But this is a stretch bracelet that I made here with mostly beads from the box. Then I made this triple strand bracelet, and everything here is from the box. And again, I like how here I used like a bronze metal and it came out really nice. Mostly earthly tones, but then I popped this purple in there, which is nice. And then lastly, this one, this is really mostly not from the box, but because I did use these, I just wanted to show you how I brought in some other things that I'd found in my collection of beads and still was able to use it. So I really, you know, tried to stretch the box as far as I can with the beads that I have. And then second to last, I made a bunch of keychains. Now, I'm going to say that I am going to switch this out because they're two different kind of golds. I ordered a different kind of keychain holder that is going to work much better because that just is a little mismatchy. This I definitely got from a tutorial, and I'm going to link it down below. But you can kind of see how my first attempt at doing this, I did not weave very tight, and so it's a little bit of a misshapen heart. But then I got better and better at it as I went along. And I made 4 of these because I wanted to make one for myself, my daughters, and then my sister. And they're all a little bit different in up here. They all have this kind of melon bead, but then I used different findings and things that I found in my collection on that. I did find that when you kind of hold them up, they lose shape quickly. So I added these chains that kind of support that heart shape a little bit more. But this kind of shows how like I kind of progressed and got better with my bead weaving. It was very loose, a little off at times, and then I was able to kind of master it. And this one random bead that was in with these purples, but I guess it kind of faded a little bit there on that. And then I made this keychain and a couple, again, I just kind of free-formed, bead weaved that, as well as this. This one actually, I like how it looks this way, came from a tutorial, and I'll link that below. And I'll change that keychain out again to match the kind of gold that's in here. So this was my first time making any kind of like keychain, purse charm, whatever you want to call it. And really practicing my bead weaving. Lastly, I just made 1 pair of earrings. I try to make earrings, but I don't know, they don't always come out how I want them. I tend to wear, personally, just like small studs or single things, not really dangly too much. But I tried these. These butterfly links were not in the box, but everything else was, besides these spacers. So it was these crystals, really, that were in the box. And again, I'm using a different color metal here. This time I'm using silver. So that is the earrings that I made. So again, I'll just kind of like show everything here. You know, keychains, earrings. There's another other keychain, a whole bunch of bracelets there, of all different types, stretchy, cord, triple strand, this kind of ribbon one I came up with. This is another stretchy one, but you can see how, because there were so many super duos, I really was honing in on weaving. And then of course, my favorite thing is the bookmarks. So now is the time to give these to family and friends and my daughters. They've already kind of picked out ones that are their favorites. And I like, you know, this kind of new thing I did with this giant pendant that I found, and I was like, oh, I could stick that in the book and make something. So I actually ordered some larger flat pendants so I can incorporate that in some other boxes that I work on. More, I mean, like, just look at this pile of stuff. And so this is all from one box from Potomac Beads, their treasure box, with additional ones, of course, but really the majority of it is from the box. And that's a lot of stuff that it took me a while to make, especially with the bead weaving, because I was new to it. And then again, here is what I have left over. And here, what was in the box. So let me just put this all to the side and show you the next box that I want to work on and do lots of different things and see what I can come up with and how much I can kind of get done with it. And actually, it's not a box. I totally forgot. I randomly at Walmart got some Jesse James beads kits. These were like $6. And I got 2 of them, this purple one and then this peachy one over here. Let's open it up so that ring light isn't blocking your view. And each of them came with some findings, you know, two sets of clasps that you could use. So for the peach one, came with some gold ones, and for the purple, it came with the silver. And then you have some different kind of pieces to add bead caps in there, pendants, metals there. These are pendants, some glass beads, some acrylic beads. Same thing over there. So what I want to do is kind of use these and see what I can come. Obviously not as many beads as a subscription box. It's, you know, these are not a lot of things, but I think, you know, with those two clasps in each, I could at least make a couple bracelets. I might focus on that instead of making bookmarks, just because I have those clasps. And then if I have anything left over, maybe I can make some bookmarks. But I'd say bookmarks and bracelets are like my two favorite things to make. Maybe I'll attempt some earrings as well, but this is what I have to work on next. So hopefully I'll get a video up of that when I do complete that. I just, every day a little bit after work. So I'm really running out of space. So I'm going to stop here, but this is what I'll work on next. So hopefully see you soon.